Abby, can you hear us?
I can hear you. Hello.
All right.
Hello. How is everyone?
How is everyone?
This is the cast of The Lion King, right?
Hi, Abby. How are you?
Hello. Is this your school? Is this your classroom and school?
So it is my school where we rehearse, but the kids come from lots of different schools.
Wow. Okay. So you're using your school and your auditorium to put on The Lion King. And this is your program, Shane, right?
Correct. Yes.
So this isn't like a school activity. It's your own activity.
This is Shane Davidson Presents.
Okay. Yes.
We all say good afternoon, Abby.
Good afternoon, Abby.
It's so great to see you all. I wish that I could be there. Maybe someday for one of Shane Davidson Presents,
Yeah.
I will be there. I will be there in person. Smile, I'm taking a picture. Okay. So I'll post that. Who follows me on Instagram?
All right, yeah. You have to now. If you've got Instagram, you have to.
Follow at, there's a lot of fake Abby Lees. So you have to do at the real Abby Lee.
And Abby, I often quote you when we are rehearsing, right? And sometimes I say to them, save your tears for the pillow, but can we hear it from you?
Yeah. Wait, can I do my pyramid thing first? Don't we have some questions?
Who inspired you as a child?
What inspired me as a child?
Yes.
Well, I know it's an answer we always use, but my mom definitely inspired me. She was the most creative person that I will ever know. And she could take a napkin and make it into a babushka or an apron or a cape. I mean, a napkin or paper towel, like she could do anything. So she inspired me. And then she took me to dance conventions all over the country in the United States and New York City and Los Angeles and Chicago. And I would learn from some of the best teachers in the country at the time. And they all inspired me, yes. Who else?
Put your hand up if you're a dance mum diehard. You love dancing. Okay, Hannah, can you stand up and ask your question?
Hi, I'm Hannah.
Hi, Hannah.
I was wondering, how did the Abby Lee Dance Company get involved in the reality TV show?
How did the Abby Lee Dance Company get involved in what? The television show?
Yes, yeah.
All right. So a guy that I knew that was a dancer, kind of an older, maybe 34, 36-year-old guy who was on the end of his career, like going downhill. He had made a lot of money and was very successful as a dancer, as a young person, but it's a young person's job. So he had to figure out a way to pay his credit cards off. And he was at a convention and competition with me in Vegas, and he was there judging or something, and I was there with my students, my good advanced students. And then my little kids that were just starting out were at another hotel at another convention. And I said, hey, my little ones are gonna do their solos. Why don't you run over and watch them with me? And he did. And he saw some of the kids you know by name now, who were all grown up, but he saw them when they were wee little, like 6, 7 years old. And then I took him out to the pool to meet their mothers, who were drunk, broke, laying at the pool, whining and complaining about everything, about the dance convention, about the hotel, about the food. And so he had the idea then to do a show. So it was always with me in mind, but I wasn't on the show. It was a housewives show. And that was it. I wasn't on it till the 3rd episode. And then they switched it and used it as the 1st episode. And the rest is history.
Hi, my name is Zara.
Hi, Zara. Do you own the store, Zara?
Zara is playing one of the Nalas in The Lion King. And
Wow. Okay.
What advice would you give to someone who's looking to go into the professional industry?
what is it?
Well, first of all, you have to do it all. You have to sing, you have to dance, you have to act. But you also have to do aerials and silks, and you should know acrobatics and gymnastics, combat, stage fighting. There's so many things, and you learn a lot of those things by doing a show like you are doing with Shane. It's very important that you get experience at your young age, and each show that you do with Shane you'll learn different things that you didn't know before. And I think if you want to become a professional, you need to be very well educated about your craft, meaning your art form. You have to be passionate about it. You have to want it above everything else, above a family, above, a husband or wife or whatever, and children and a house. You have to want that more than anything else in the world. And you have to be talented. Let's face it. There's such a thing as talent. Some people open their mouth and they can sing. Other people can't. Other people have to train and train and train to get there. And I've seen a lot of kids who have a lot of talent throw it away and they don't do anything with it. Then I've seen other kids that have a little bit of talent and they work and work and work, and pretty soon they become a star.
Right.
And things have really changed, Shane. You know that with Kieran, and with all social media and everything, that the world has really changed. And sometimes, people are living out here in Los Angeles in multi-million-dollar homes, and they are on top of the world because they make silly YouTube videos. Because they do goofy, silly things like me teaching Karen how to drive, like something like that. It becomes, people want to watch those funny home videos of people getting hurt and people doing crazy, stunts on a skateboard or whatever. And people are making a lot of money and becoming very successful at that silly stuff, not at real talent. Just like TikTok. I enjoy TikTok because I like to see the brothers and the dads and the grandpas all doing the dances. I think it's wonderful. However, when I see my students or people that have been on the show that are really technical trained dancers doing this, I'm like, what are you doing? You can really, really dance. Why are you doing this when you can dance for real? So I think there might need to be 2 TikToks, like TikTok and then TikTok Pro for people that are really talented. That might be $1 million idea I just came up with right there. Go ahead.
Hello, my name is Loews.
Like the doll, like the character, right? Yes.
Yeah. My question is, what was your favorite season of Dance Moms and why?
My favorite season of Dance Moms was season 8. And because the kids came onto the show and they auditioned for the show knowing what it was about. They grew up watching the show. So they knew that I was going to yell and I was going to be mean at some times. They knew their mothers were going to fight. They knew their mothers were going to fight with me. They knew what they were getting into. And they didn't care. They wanted to be there. They wanted to learn from me. They wanted to be on TV. They wanted to win. So it's much easier to work with children that want to be there, like all of you, or want to be there with Shane. You want to learn. You want to get better. You want to maybe, like the young Nala said, become a professional in this industry. That's what you want. So this group of kids in season 8, they all wanted that. The kids that started the show out, they were interviewed sitting in a chair next to their mothers. They never danced one step at the audition, or there wasn't an audition. There wasn't an audition until season 2 when Kendall auditioned. That was it. Never, because I would announce auditions in New York City to all the kids. And I would say, I think that some of you should go to this audition. It's in New York City. It's for Billy Elliot, or it's for The Music Man, or whatever. And you need to do a left side aerial, and you need to do this, that, and the other thing. You need to be this height to that height, this age to that age. You have your pictures and resumes. I think you need to go. It's tomorrow at 4 o'clock, or, you know, next week at 4 o'clock. You don't get prepared. You are prepared all the time for an audition. You never know when an audition is going to come up. You never know when some friend of your mother's needs a model for some fashion show. You don't prepare. You're ready all the time. And I think that's so important for all of you. You have your sheet music. You know what song you sing. You have a ballad. You have an up-tempo. You have a pop. You have a legit Broadway belt song. You have all these songs prepared. Your dance clothes are prepared. Whatever you audition in. If you're trying to make yourself younger, you wear the 2 pigtails, and you have your overalls, and you have that audition outfit. And if you're trying to make yourself look older, you have that outfit. It's hanging in your closet. You don't have to run around and try to buy something to wear. You don't have to figure out what song you're going to sing. None of that. It is all done ahead of time. It's there. You are ready for everything. And I think kids miss out on a lot of things because they don't feel they're prepared, but then they don't get prepared.
I'm Lola.
Hi, Lala.
And I was wondering what your favorite solo ever was and why?
My favorite solo ever was never on the show. It was a two, it's a tie. One of my students, her name was Katie Hackett, and she was Petite Miss Dance of Pennsylvania, and then went on to win Petite Miss Dance of America, and Junior Miss Dance of America, and Teen Miss Dance of America. She was beautiful. I mean, if you guys think that Maddie was a beautiful dancer, this kid would dust her. I mean, gorgeous, perfect feet, and beautiful turnout, and a face like just would captivate you. She did a song called A Child is Born, and she had a flesh like leotard, unitard on, and it had veins all on it, like she was just coming out of the womb, and like little pieces of pink and red hanging from it, and it was beautiful. And the song is by Barbara Streisand. It's called A Child is Born. Then I had a young man who danced since he was 3 years old with me, and he was going to be a professional dancer in the industry. And his senior, not senior, maybe junior in high school, 16 years old solo was called I Won't Dance by Frank Sinatra. And it's, I won't dance, don't ask me. I won't dance, don't beg me. So he did, every time it was like, I won't dance, he was doing some amazing leap in the air or an aerial walkover, gorgeous. I mean, and he wore like black pants and a white shirt and a bow tie kind of open. And it was amazing dance, amazing. And Shane, he was judged at a national big competition. He was up for the senior or male dancer thing. And he was judged by Cheetah Rivera, wow, Ben Vereen, and Bob Fosse's first wife. Oh my God, I can't think. Anyway, so these were three famous dancers that were judging him at this national competition, and he won. Wow. And I was up on stage at the very end, when the confetti flies and all the trophies and the flowers. And the three of them came up onto the stage to talk to me. They wanted to meet who choreographed the number, and it was just an amazing moment in my life. Wow. Yes. He also was asked to perform at the Kennedy Center, where the president, like the presidential performances are and stuff for our government. And he performed at the Kennedy Center, and it was in Washington, D.C., and that was also a big deal. Yeah. The young lady that I was talking about, Katie Hackett, she went on to leave high school her senior year, and she got the Broadway tour of Big, the show Big. You guys know that show? Yeah. With the pianos. So the Broadway tour was looking for a teenager, and she was away with me in New York City at a dance convention, and I sent 3 kids by themselves, no parents, and they were like, I don't know, 13, 14, 15, and I sent them to this audition because I had to be in meetings. So I sent them, and 2 of them came back, and the 3rd kid never came back. And her mother was calling her from Pittsburgh. She wasn't answering her phone, and her parents got really worried, and they were calling me, and I was just ignoring them because I didn't know anything. And here she got the audition. They kept her. They did a costume fitting. They did all this stuff right then and there, and she got the job. So she left high school her senior year for the first 6 months of high school, and went on tour with Big. And she had a tutor on the show that was from France that spoke French fluently, and Kate's was in like French 4 in high school, and they didn't even have a class of French 4 to teach her. So she learned more academically being on this show than she would have sitting in high school. So that's one. And then she went on to do Radio City Christmas Spectacular for 14 years in a row, 14 years, and had an amazing job. And the young man I was talking about, Mark Myers, is the dance supervisor for Wicked all over the world. You know the show Wicked? Yeah, you just went like this? Yeah, I just reposted something of his the other day, and he's in Korea setting a show. So if you go to audition for Wicked, he's who you have to get through. He's the one running the audition, and then he flies in and he runs the audition, and then he sets the show. He is more valuable to Wicked than the costumes or the sets or anything, because he knows every single movement, every hand, every face, every head, every entrance, every exit. He is in charge of all of that.
Wow.
So both of those children became very successful, much more successful than the kids on the show. There just wasn't social media then. You didn't have Instagram back then.
That's right.
So nobody knew all this was going on. Yes. My favorite solo on the show would have to be Anne Frank, The Diary of Anne Frank, or Lizzie Borden, or Helen Keller, which all 3 of those solos I did before for really, really good kids, amazing kids, in my life of competition. And that's why I wanted to do them on the show, because I wanted to do them again because they were so great.
Hi, my name is Benji. How long approximately did it take for one season? And was there one particularly long one, and why?
We shoot 13 episodes in a television season. So when you get big, it's different than Australia television. When you get a big show like SVU or like The Good Wife or something like that, they shoot 13 episodes, okay? There's 13 episodes that they shoot, and it's each week, and then they're done for the whole year, they're finished. We shot 13 episodes. We would go on a break for 2 months. We'd come back and we'd shoot 13 more episodes. But after the 13, we would shoot 2 specials. Then I would do 2 clip shows where I sit there and I talk about a show, an episode, and they replay it back. And so I did 13 plus 2 specials plus 2 clip shows. So I did, 17. Then I would leave Pittsburgh and go to LA and shoot 13 episodes of Abby's Ultimate Dance Competition. Then I'd go back to Pittsburgh and shoot 13 more episodes plus 2 specials plus 2 clip shows.
Wow.
So when people ask me about shows and the kids say, well, on this episode, blah, blah, blah happened, da, 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 I don't even know what they're talking about, because it was so fast and I was working 16-hour days. Don't forget, I was still teaching at my studio from season 1 through season 4 or 5. And when the show wrapped, I was still working until 10:30 at night. Then I was on call for hair and makeup at 5 a.m.
Thank you so much. Can we give Abby a big round of
The cast of Lion King is on top of the pyramid. Bam! I just made that happen. Woo, woo!